Story time. Well, back again with Charlotte's Web and Wilbur's story. Here it is. But before I start, let me ask you a question. What is comfort according to you? Well, some people like to be comfortable talking to friends. Some people just lie down and listen to music and feel comfortable. While for some, to go beyond comfort and work to achieve one's goals is also a kind of comfort. They love doing that. Here, Wilbur the pig, who lives in Zuckerman's barn, always wanted to lie comfortable on his manure pile and never wished to work. A bad news comes to his ears that he will be shortly sold out to a cruel master by Zuckerman, or he will be starved to death. And understanding this, Wilbur started crying. He went on crying like a hysteric. All other animals in the barn thought it was very childish, and they started talking and warning him. What is this, Wilbur? Don't be childish. Come on, don't act hysteric. Wilbur said, Here I read. What will I do? What will I do? I don't want to die. Well, if you don't want to die, come on, do something. Do something so that your master is convinced that you are worth him. You are worthy to be in the barn. So thus he will not sell you anymore. Instead of lying down, always being comfortable and greedy for food, do some activity, do something. Here comes the role of Charlotte, the spider, who tells Wilbur, I'll train you if you wish. Oh, please coach me, Wilbur. I would like to be coached by you. I am ready to learn. But Wilbur, though he says he's ready to learn, yet he has never done any kind of hard work rather than waiting, sleeping, and just smelling his food. Thus, Charlotte says, I'll coach you. Well, start like this. Take a deep breath. Wilbur breathed heavily. Wilbur again breathed deeply. Now, climb to the highest place you can get to like this. Charlotte raced up to the top of the doorway. Wilbur scrambled to the top of the manure pile. So as I said, Charlotte the spider could climb to his web. And Wilbur thought it was advantageous for Charlotte to make a very easy web because it was light in its texture and body weight. But Charlotte made Wilbur realize that each of them has been gifted with different qualities and each of them must make use of it. Thus, when he ran up to the manure pile, Charlotte said, Very good, very good. Now make an attachment with your spinnerets. Hurl yourself into space and let out a drag line as you go down. Wilbur hesitated a moment, then jumped out into the air. He glanced hastily behind to see if a piece of rope was following him to check his fall. Just as he seen a spider's web always checks a spider's fall and holds it in between. But nothing seemed to be happening in his case. And the next thing he knew, he landed with a thump. Oomp, he grunted. Charlotte laughed so hard, her web began to sway. What did I do wrong? Asked the pig when he recovered from his bump. Nothing, said Charlotte. It was a nice try. I think I'll try again, said Wilbur cheerfully. I believe what I need is a little piece of string to hold me. The pig walked out to his yard. You there, Templeton, he called. The rat poked his head out from under the trough. Got a little piece of string I could borrow? Asked Wilbur. I need it to spin a web. Yes, indeed, replied Templeton, to save string. No trouble at all, anything to oblige. But he was very astonished. What will a pig do with a string? How can a string save a pig from falling? So here it goes that in order to be comfortable, Charlotte was trying to teach Wilbur to go beyond his comfort level, while Wilbur had to pay a price if he went on lying idle and doing nothing. And thus, Wilbur shortly and soon understood that only being greedy for food, lying, inactive, is not going to actually give him anything good. And sooner or later, he will either be starving to death or will be sold to a cruel master. Thus, from the story, I learned yes, to go beyond the comfort level is indeed enjoyable because one can be persistent to achieve one's goal. What about you? Have you thought of your comfort level? Are you ready to go beyond your comfort zone sometimes? Well, keep reading, for a book is going to serve you in many ways. Thus, so stay tuned to get more stories like this. Bye bye.